Welcome back, 5th hour. We are here in our virtual recording for the second half of our Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe essay. I'm sure you can hear my 5th hour class kind of chatting in the background here. I hope they're ready to write these 2 paragraphs before I collect essays. Before we finish our last 2 paragraphs in class today, we should probably recap what we did yesterday as well, really briefly. We good, y'all? For those of you following along in class right now, you may notice, or I should say, you should probably take a look at your draft to make sure you have these first couple of things here as we review. Notice we started our essay with a heading, so it should always be student name, first and last, teacher name, course, and date. We also gave this boy a title right above our first paragraph. We called it Defeating Death and the Devil. Again, those of you in class right now, I would encourage you just to double check to make sure the start of your essay looks like that. Friendly reminder while they're doing that, if you're watching this on video, feel free to pause this video at any point for the sake of copying down what you need. I will have to cut out big portions of this video as I'm helping my students in class as well. I do know that handwriting is a lot slower than typing. We did write our introduction yesterday. I'm not going to reread the whole thing right now, but the main thesis that we have to prove with our essay is that C.S. Lewis uses symbolism to illustrate the theme of this story, that Jesus Christ defeated the devil through his death on the cross. I believe we wrote 2 body paragraphs yesterday. Is that accurate? We did 2? Cool. So one body paragraph we did is writing about the symbol of the White Witch. We used a direct quote to prove that from page 19, and then our commentary proves that. We also wrote a body paragraph about Aslan. This one uses a bigger direct quote using the poem on page 79. Once again, we drew the connection between Aslan and Jesus Christ, proving that he's a symbol. We do have another body paragraph coming up. So for those of you following along on paper, we're going to go down to the next line and indent, just like the computer did for me. And let's copy in the next body paragraph. The stone table we decided to write about. I shouldn't have done that. Actually, that'll work. It actually moved it to another page. There we go. We might have some goofy stuff happening at the end of this page as we're writing, but we'll go with that from there. Here's what we did in our outline. The last major symbol is the stone table. I need to add some spaces there. It is described as being cut all over with strange lines and figures that might be the letters of an unknown language. They gave you a curious feeling. We used a lot of direct quotes in this essay. I like it, though. As you guys are copying that down to start our third body paragraph, I need to add in our commentary, too. And we are going to add a paraphrase here, but we'll get there when we get there. Just a friendly reminder that all this copying and pasting that I'm doing on the computer is much easier than handwriting, right? Because we did so much heavy lifting in our outlining before, it makes it easy for me just to move that straight into our essay. That's the same thing for you guys. I just know that handwriting's a little bit slower. So that's what we have so far. I think I have to add one more paraphrase, but that's what we have so far for the stone table. I really like to read back what we write to make sure it makes sense. The last major symbol is the stone table. It is described as being cut all over with strange lines and figures that might be the letters of an unknown language. They gave you a curious feeling. The reason why the table is cut up is that creatures have been killed on it before. It is actually a symbol for the cross. In Narnia, the stone table is a place where traitors are sacrificed. I'm just going to check my outline real quick as you guys are copying as well. I think I have to do some paraphrasing here. Paraphrase Aslan's explanation in chapter 15, connect how Jesus was able to come back from the dead. Because I have a text, I'll be working on that as you guys copy here. I need to paraphrase chapter 15. My memory is not the best, y'all. We already wrote a paragraph about Aslan being a symbol of Jesus Christ, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know I'm moving faster than you guys can write, but I need your opinion on something too. Whoa. So I know that's a big body paragraph right there. Let's see if I can get it all up on screen. I know you guys are copying this down as we prepare for our conclusion, but I want to ask you guys real quick about these last two sentences right here. The last sentence is one that we initially had as our summary sentence. The one before it is a commentary sentence that I just kind of spitballed out there to see if it works. One of my questions is, do we need both of these sentences, or should we cut one of them? Let me read the last half of this paragraph out loud, and I want your opinions on that. However, in chapter 15, Aslan explains that if an innocent person is killed on the stone table, it would break, and the person would come back to life. This is exactly what happened to both Aslan and Jesus, making the stone table like the cross. The stone table and Jesus' cross are connected in the story. Do I need both of them? I'm hearing some yeses and nos. Let's just do it by a quick vote. If you think I should leave in both of these sentences, please raise your hand and leave it raised. If I should leave in both of those highlighted sentences there. Leave them raised so I can count them. If I should leave in both of those highlighted sentences. Okay. If you think I should cut one of these sentences, please raise your hand. I'm actually seeing a pretty split vote right here, so I'll actually allow you. I'll allow you to choose either way. I will not mark you down, whichever way you choose on this. Let me ask you guys, if we were to cut one of these sentences, which one is better to cut? I would vote the second one, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to delete it on my own. If you want to leave it in, you can. If you want to take it out, you can as well. I'm just going to draw a little strike through it. That is a big body paragraph, so I'm going to leave that up on screen for a while for my students who are copying along in class. Once again, if you're watching this in video, feel free to pause it at any point for the sake of copying. Our conclusion is the only thing that remains. Oh, I forgot to read this paragraph out loud. Maybe that'll help with your copying as well. The last major symbol is the stone table. It is described as being cut all over with strange lines and figures that might be the letters of an unknown language. They gave you a curious feeling. The reason why the table is cut up is that creatures have been killed on it before. It is actually a symbol for the cross. In Narnia, the stone table is a place where traitors are sacrificed. However, in chapter 15, Aslan explains that if an innocent person is killed on the stone table, it would break and the person would come back to life. This is exactly what happened to both Aslan and Jesus, making the stone table like the cross. If you want to add that last summary sentence, that's fine too. The stone table and Jesus' cross are connected in the story. Actually, after reading it out loud that time, I actually like leaving in that last sentence, but either way, you've got a strong paragraph. I know you guys are still copying down, but one thing I would point out is we still have our conclusion to add into our draft. Our conclusion is one that I kicked out to you during our virtual lesson last Tuesday. So if you're looking in your outline and you don't see a conclusion, it means that you didn't do our virtual lesson last Tuesday. What I would say is follow along closely, because we'll still draft it today, so you can still get it down in your essay. Now, once again, new paragraph goes on to the next line. You do not need to skip any lines if you're doing this on paper. I'm going to hit tab to indent. Don't forget to indent your paragraph. And I just need to copy my conclusion. Might as well just copy the whole thing and edit from there. Now, one thing I would note in our conclusion, one thing that I didn't do in outlining is write my summary sentences in complete sentences. We'll have to do that now together, but I want to give you some time to copy. Shh. Do not copy down what's in the parentheses right now, because we have to replace that, okay? Please note, we do have our restated thesis. C.S. Lewis uses symbolism in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to carry its Christian themes. What we need to do, though, still, as we plan out our conclusion, is just come up with one summary sentence per body paragraph. It might help to look at how we close those paragraphs to get some ideas. We should get like 3 short sentences here just to summarize the body of our essay. I do not want to have to scroll all over the place on this essay to look this up. Could someone maybe remind me what we wrote about in our first body paragraph? Was it the witch? We wrote about the witch first. So C.S. Lewis uses symbolism in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to carry its Christian themes. One of these symbols, is the witch, the white witch, who represents... Throughout this essay, did we say the devil more or Satan more?
Satan.
We said the devil more? Say Satan here, just to balance it. What was our next body paragraph about? We did Aslan next. Notice that I'm following that same order in my conclusion. Another is Aslan, who symbolizes Jesus Christ. So notice for my summary sentences, I've said one, and I've used another. Is there something I could use, like a transition, to start my next summary sentence? Yeah, along with those ones. How do I want to frame that? One of these symbols is the white witch, who represents Satan. Another is Aslan, who symbolizes Jesus Christ. Along with them, the stone table is a symbol. Oh wait. Along with that, stone table is a symbol of the cross. Yeah. Now I can get rid of this right here. And that is our conclusion. Same thing. I should ask, is it okay if I scroll down so we can look at our conclusion?
Yeah.
Yeah? C.S. Lewis uses symbolism in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I forgot to italicize that. Let me do that real quick. To carry its Christian themes, one of these symbols is the white witch, who represents Satan. Another is Aslan, who symbolizes Jesus Christ. Along with that, the stone table is a symbol of the cross. Besides reading the Bible and listening to Sunday sermons, people can hear the gospel message through such symbols and stories. Once again, I'm going to leave this up on screen for my 5th hour to copy. Feel free to pause this video if you're doing this online. We do have enough time to proofread this thing. So once we have this conclusion copied down, we should have time to read through our entire essay and make any changes we like. When I was writing this, I don't think I made a lot of spelling mistakes or capitalization or endmark mistakes up on screen. But if you're noticing mistakes in your own writing, be sure to correct those along the way as we're proofreading. Friendly reminder, if you fell behind on this essay and still have a couple of paragraphs to write, do not turn yours in today. What you can do is catch up on video online and turn it in once you're ready. I'm roaming around to help. Moving back up to the top, let's listen to this thing out loud. Along the way, if there's any spots that you didn't quite get copied down, feel free to try following along with that. Defeating Death and the Devil. A little girl goes through a magical wardrobe and leads her into a secret place full of snow and unusual creatures. This is part of the plot of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. As the story goes on, Lucy and her siblings are hunted by the evil White Witch, who has cursed Narnia with eternal winter. The theme of the story is that Jesus Christ defeated the devil through his death on the cross. C.S. Lewis uses symbolism to illustrate this theme. One important symbol in the story is the White Witch. On page 19, Mr. Tumnus says, "It is she that has got all Narnia under her thumb. It's she that makes it always winter." The White Witch is a symbol for the devil. Similar to how the devil does not want the world to be happy, the witch wants Narnia to suffer. The witch's curse on Narnia represents sin's hold on the world. Both the White Witch and the devil are evil. Another important symbol in the story is the lion Aslan. The text states, "Wrong will be right when Aslan comes in sight. At the sound of his roar, sorrows will be no more. When he bares his teeth, winter meets its death. When he shakes his mane, we shall have spring again." Aslan is a symbol of Jesus Christ. According to the poem, Aslan will bring spring back into Narnia. I should lowercase spring there. I did make a mistake there. At the sound of his roar is like the word of God coming into the world. Jesus coming to earth saves people from their sin and sorrows. Aslan, like Jesus, brings peace into his world. The last major symbol is the stone table. It is described as being cut all over with strange lines and figures that might be the letters of an unknown language. They gave you a curious feeling. The reason why the table is cut up is that creatures have been killed on it before. It is actually a symbol for the cross. In Narnia, the stone table is a place where traitors are sacrificed. However, in chapter 15, Aslan explains that if an innocent person is killed on the stone table, it would break and the person would come back to life. This is exactly what happened to both Aslan and Jesus, making the stone table like the cross. The stone table and Jesus' cross are connected in the story. C.S. Lewis uses symbolism in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to carry its Christian themes. One of these symbols is the White Witch, who represents Satan. Another is Aslan, who symbolizes Jesus Christ. Along with that, the stone table is a symbol of the cross. Besides reading the Bible and listening to Sunday sermons, people can hear the gospel message through such symbols and stories. Let me ask you guys, how do we like this? Is there anything that needs to be reclarified, changed, moved in this thing? I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up. I would agree. I think you guys wrote a crispy essay. For those of you watching online, this would be a good time to pause, copy down anything you may need throughout the video. Be ready to hand in your essay by copying down everything. Make sure it's on lined paper. I'll catch you guys then.